of new business is resolution 02-2303. Mr. Manager, if you would publish the resolution.
Yes, sir. It is the 020-2303 to express the intention of City Council of the City of Hartsville to cause the City of Hartsville to be reimbursed for proceeds of obligations for certain costs associated with the acquisition of real property from the Hartsville Public Development Corporation related to matters.
As we discussed, I think we all agree that this is a good, potentially a very good thing. This is only the first step, it's not obligated, so, is there a motion to approve resolution 02-2303?
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve 02-23-03.
Thank you, Ms. Mack. You have a second?
Second.
Mr. Brown, got a second. Are there any questions or comments on that? Are we ready to take that? All right, all those in favor of approving resolution 02-2303, we can check so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution 02-2303 has been approved. That brings us to, first reading of ordinance 4448, and, Madam Clerk has a revised version of that for us.
And Mark's can explain this, but all the changes from what you have in your packet and the revised versions, you have a list in that one, you have the maps.
Okay, so it's not material, but it's just easier to understand.
The
Mark's
only
have a
thing,
few things to say.
the only thing that changed between the version that you had and the version that we now updated is I was unaware that the properties had been consolidated into a single tax map parcel. And so what we updated and what we added is to identify the single tax map and that included a map which then shows it was part of all the parcels that you originally had. So that is the only material change. I mean, the non-material changes is all the same as that property, it just changed. We realized after the fact that it had all been consolidated. So, but this is the ordinance that approves the actual issuance of the debt associated with appropriation funds to pay off the fire fund.
And it's the first reading.
Correct.
Okay, any questions for clarification about the maps? Or I guess, well, no, I need a motion.
What's open to public interest?
Yeah, that would be a good start.
All right.
Thank you.
First reading of ordinance 4448, an ordinance to provide for the issuance and sale of not exceeding $1,100,000, 1.1 million general obligation bonds, series 2023 of the City of Hartsville, South Carolina, to prescribe a purpose for which the proceeds shall be expended to provide for the payment thereof and other matters related thereto.
All right, thank you. Again, this is only the first reading. I would entertain a motion, to approve the first reading of ordinance 4448. Motion is second. Do you have any, discussion or questions further than this?
Mr. Mayor, who makes second?
Either I did or Bobby, just put it over.
Okay, Mr. McGee has a second.
So, just one additional point of clarification, as we discussed with staff, before the meeting. There is authorization, and so the resolution you approved is a reimbursement resolution that for tax purposes allows the city to use the proceeds of the bond to reimburse themselves for any money you spend out of pocket, out of the general fund to, pay for this obligation. The only thing, and so you already approved that, the only thing that we probably will add for purposes of second reading, I just want this draft to reflect that, is some express authorization to use available fund balance, in the purchase authorization in this bond ordinance, that you can then turn around and actually use the proceeds to reimburse. So just there is some loose language around appropriating funds necessary to purchase the property in advance of the issuance of the debt, and I just want to put it a little bit more on the nose so that there is a direct authorization to use those funds.
Okay, thank you. Anything else before we vote?
Just a question, and does the Article 1 finding of fact, does that play into something that gets attached to other one of these documents? If so, I was just gonna propose a little language cleanup on one. Or is that relevant to what we're doing here, or is that just a statement of?
So it's just basically a recital of the actions for doing what you're doing. I typically like to use findings of fact as a justification for the actions being taken, because it's basically the only place where you get to the extent that it doesn't get reflected in the minutes, the action that you were taking, making the approval, just gives you specific findings as to the reason for doing what you're doing. So if there's a clarification, by all means.
So it's, if you go to page 2 of that, the very top paragraph, the wording on this, now, I raised this with Benjamin the other day, you can read it and I can understand what it's saying, but it looks like it could just be a little bit cleaner. if we said, and here's the proposal, it's basically the same, start the paragraph, the $1.1 million principal amount intended to be borrowed by the city under this ordinance and under the provisions of section 14 of Article X and the enabling act does not exceed the existing borrowing capacity of $1.697154 million. Therefore, the city may borrow such money without the necessity of holding a record. I've got it in writing.
Do we need to put in an action on that limit because it changes?
Well, it's already
It's
decided.
not- it's not-
It's already decided. I have no problem adding express clarification, you know, as it even showing what the available.
I mean, read that first, the debt limit is in excess of the anticipated, not exceeding 1.1.
It really, it's very wordy, this is where, you know, lawyers are not,
Yeah.
are the best at grammar sometimes, so if there's a cleaner and a more clairvoyant way to say it, you're not hurting my feelings.
So,
Do I enter that into the record?
You know, and that's a motion,
If-
a motion to amend.
Yeah, if you do me a favor and just give it to Sharon, she can scan it to me, like I said, I'm gonna add that information for the budget appropriation language as well.
So we need a motion to amend Article 1, is that?
We actually, no, I'm saying we might be able to, if you can provide it to Ms.
We'll
Skipper.
just have it.
We will, second reading, it will be clarified and we will make note of that change and also the change that we're talking about earlier. So we'll just make sure that's in the next change.
okay. And that
So no
works for
motion
you?
here. You good? She's good.
Okay, thanks for that, I do like, clear language. We've had a motion and a second to approve the first reading, is there any more discussion? We'll take the vote. Yeah, Mayor, forget the vote.
No.
Okay,
Just
good.
watching.
All those, please don't watch me. All those in
Oh,
favor
look at the ceiling.
of approving the first reading of ordinance 4448, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The, first reading of ordinance 4448 has, passed. And, now I adjourn in the strategic planning. Okay, well, I will hear a motion to adjourn. Motion and a second. Any discussion? We're hearing no objection, we stand adjourned.